young master's caged.
Shazzan, it were this brother and sister. They were twins, Chuck and Nancy, and they found this ring.
When they put the rings together and said the words that were on the ring, which was Shazam, the ring would conjure up a genie. Remember when the console TV was a piece of furniture, wood grain, clacking dials, and somebody whispering, "Don't move," after fixing the rabbit ears? This is Shazzan, the wildest genie you forgot existed. It roared, bold lines, brass swagger, a laugh that rattled the frame while flying camels skimmed glass cities. It was myth, magic, and mayhem before fantasy was a category.
Flying camel goes, that's all he said.
Hang tight, these are 40 strangest facts about Shazzan. You have never heard of the bonus fact uncovers the only Shazzan tale that escaped the screen and still flickers today.
You evil one, return to the bottle.
Here, the mustache is on top of the nose. It would come from out here and down.
Fact 1, the one-word giant. Shazzan isn't just a name, it's the trigger. When Chuck and Nancy click the twin rings and speak it, a towering genie appears, cheerful and unstoppable. No wand, no spell book, just one word: instant rescue. That simple rule gives the show its pulse. Danger rises, the name drops, the world tilts. I remember trying it as a kid, whispering Shazzan in our hallway, half expecting a warm wind and a booming laugh. The TV glow hit the wall and the house felt bigger, like the ceiling could open. It was simple magic you could copy with your own breath. One word, one hope, every time. Say the name, watch physics quit. Fact 2, a titan with a soft touch.
You forced me to shield my little friend.
Shazzan isn't big. He's mountain big, able to cradle both kids and Kabubi in one palm. That scale sets him apart from other HB heroes. He's not just strong, he's safe, like a living fortress that laughs. The art sells it. Tiny figures, a huge hand, swirling clouds. As a kid, I'd climb onto the couch arm and pretend it was his thumb, steady and warm. You could almost feel the fabric groan under your feet and hear his rumble through your chest. He made danger look small, like a toy you could pocket. Huge but gentle. That mix stuck with me. Big isn't brutish here. Watch. Fact 3. Main cave, Arabian Nights.
Thanks, Shazzan.
Farewell.
The twins find the split ring off the rocky coast of Maine. Cold spray, gulls crying, and boom, they're in an Arabian Nights world. Hot wind, brass cities, flying beasts. That portal logic is the show's engine. American shore to myth desert in one jump. I love that contrast. I could smell sea salt from our kitchen window fan, then hear the TV hiss with desert heat. It taught me that doors don't need hinges. They need a good reason. The cave wasn't scary. It was a doorway with a pulse. Real sand, real tide, and then carpets in the sky. Main cave to myth desert, fast. Fact 4, all powerful, with one limit. Shazzan can do almost anything. Reshape storms, freeze armies, fold distance, but he cannot send the kids home. Not until they return the ring to its rightful owner, the Wizard of the Seventh Mountain. That narrative lock keeps every win a step, not the end. As a kid, I felt that limit like a knot in a shoelace. Close, but not done. It made each rescue sweet and a little sad. I'd stare at our old globe, tracing mountains with a finger, wondering where 7th hit on the map. Power looked easy. Purpose was harder. The rule made the journey matter. That was wild. Now imagine laughter while mountains move. Fact 5, the flying camel. Kabubi isn't a joke. He's a winged dromedary, loyal and brave, created or gifted by Shazzan as their ride. Hooves beat the air, wings thump like rugs snapping in the sun. He's comic and noble at once, the kind of sidekick you trust with your life. I used to tie a towel around my bike seat and call it Kabubi, pedaling hard until the wind bit my eyes. The name is silly on purpose, the heart is not. He turns travel into adventure and fear into breeze. When he banks, the world tilts with him. Joy turns fierce. Wings thump. One camel outflies doom. Fact 6. Tools of vanish and escape.
He caught it! Good work, boy! Okay, Nancy. Shazzan!
The genie doesn't just save, they get gear. A true invisibility cloak and a magic rope. The cloak erases shape and shadow. The rope slithers up walls and ties itself like it can think. These tools recur, turning traps into puzzles. I once hid under my dad's tan coat and swore I was gone, holding my breath until my ears rang. Simple things felt enchanted because the show said they could be. Cloak for hiding, rope for climbing, hope in your pocket. Every time those items came out, you could feel the plan snapping into place. Nerves jangling, hear chain rattle, an invisibility trick backfires. Fact 7. The bottle demon wakes.
And have you ever seen a sparkling spring?
A demon, trapped for 4,000 years, slips free from a bottle and hunts revenge. The idea is so old it feels new. Rage fermented like strong tea, then poured into the sky. The bottle's glass gleams, the cork pops like thunder. I remember our kitchen jar of marbles, the clack, the weight, and thinking, what if something angry lived under that lid? The episode turns patience into danger. Wait long enough, and the past stands up. Shazzan meets fury with cheer, and somehow that's scarier. Smiles against storms, quiet chills, sea blue glow, an old bottle tremble. Fact 8. Centuria's 12-hour kingdom.
Show him, Shazzan.
Once every 100 years, the magical kingdom of Centuria appears on Earth for just 12 hours, and they try to crown Shazzan their king. A city like hammered gold, streets humming, clocks watching. Time isn't background here, it's the boss. I love the countdown feeling, like the last minutes before bedtime, louder than any clock. You can taste dust in the heat and feel the press of people asking a giant for forever. He smiles. He refuses. Duty first. And then the sun leans and the air gets thin. 12 hours is mercy and pressure at once. Strange gets stranger. Taste dust. 12 hours decide everything. Fact 9. Glass birds and the city of brass.
I know.
The show goes full dreamscape with giant glass birds and a shining city of brass. The birds aren't cute. They're fragile and dangerous. Wings like knives in sunlight. The city looks perfect from far away, but up close it's a maze of hard edges and echoing alleys. Metal doors hum. Stairs ring like bowls. That mix, beautiful and harsh, makes the world feel real. I remember the clink of our mom's glass ornaments and how I held my breath so they wouldn't break. Watching those birds, I did the same. Beauty could cut you if you weren't careful. That lesson stuck. Ready for awe that snaps logic? Watch glass wings. Fact 10. The master of thieves takes Aladdin's lamp.
For these worthless rings.
Inside this universe, tales cross. The Master of Thieves, a calm, clever villain, actually steals Aladdin's lamp. One story climbs into another like ladders leaning together. Suddenly, wishes have rules, and every rule has a loophole. This isn't a one-off gag, it changes the stakes. If he can grab the most famous lamp in folklore, he can grab anything. As a kid, I stared at our living room lamp and laughed, then checked the cord like it might start glowing. Crossing stories made the world feel bigger and riskier. Good guys had help, bad guys had reach. Relief melts. Feel sudden heat. A thief hunts legends. Fact 11. Split up, no Genie.
Summon the giant genie to obey your every whim. I do not understand.
There's a simple blocker the villains use again and again. Separate the kids so they can't join the rings. No rings together, no Shazzan. It's a kid-sized rule with giant tension. Caves, cages, spinning rooms, anything to keep them apart. That turns every rescue into a race to reunite, not just beat the monster. I felt that in my stomach as a kid. Even hide and seek got sharper. I'd whisper to my cousin, "Don't lose me," like the sand itself could push us away. Simple rule. Big pressure. When hands finally meet, you almost cheer before the word is said. Hope rises. Hear rope hiss. Vanish before eyes widen. Fact 12. The laugh that levels mountains.
We did it again.
Shazzan doesn't growl. He laughs. Ho, 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 while stopping storms, flattening towers, and turning danger into dust. That joy shifts the tone. He treats the kids like my little masters, which sounds funny until you feel how safe they are. A happy giant is stronger than a grim one because he never tires of helping. I remember my dad fixing the wobbly table with a smile, not a sigh. The job felt lighter because he enjoyed it. Shazzan's laugh does the same for huge problems. It breaks fear before the fight even starts. Safety lies, smells sea salt. The cave won't stay quiet. Fact 13. Arch enemies with real weight. For a short, episodic 60s show, it's rare to have true recurring nemeses, but here we get the master of thieves and the demon in the bottle. Villains who come back smarter, sharper, meaner. Their return adds memory to the world. Battles have echoes. Plans evolve. As a kid, I loved recognizing the same bad grin and thinking, uh-oh, round two. It taught me that winning once isn't the end. You need to learn, not just punch. The show grows up a bit each time these two return, and so do the kids, and so do we. Wonder softens. Here a ho-ho. Rules twist again. Fact 14. The Space Ghost crossover. In 1967's The Final Encounter, Shazzan, Chuck, Nancy, and Kabubi appear to help Space Ghost. It's brief, but huge. Heroes sharing a screen before shared universes were a thing. Signals flare, flames roar, and suddenly desert magic stands next to cosmic science. I remember feeling like two toy boxes got dumped together, ray guns and magic rings in the same pile. Crossovers told me that worlds can shake hands, and that's exciting. You don't need to choose spaceship or carpet. You can have both and double the danger and double the fun. Nerves jangling. See Torchlight? The lamp isn't friendly. Fact 15, SNL twists it into Shazzan.
So long, Shazzan.
Decades later, SNL's TV Funhouse parodies the premise as Shazzan. Same setup, different punchline. The genie turns darkly comic and unhelpful. That joke only works because the original is so pure. It's a love poke. You tease what you know by heart. I watched that sketch as an adult and felt two layers at once, the silliness and the warm memory underneath. Parody keeps a show alive by letting people play with it. If the form still bends, it isn't brittle. It's living culture. Breath slows. Feel nights hush. Centuries wait for minutes. Fact 16. Jellystone brings him back, smaller. In Jellystone, Shazzan shows up as a normal-sized vendor and even has a sweet side plot as Mildew Wolf's love interest. Kabubi gets name-dropped and cameoed too. The joke is scale. Take a giant and make him every day. That flip works because the old image is so strong in our heads. I smiled hearing his name again, like running into a classmate at the grocery store. Different vibe, same spark. Nostalgia doesn't need to be serious to be real. If anything, the lighter touch proves the core is strong. Awe whisper. Sand skitters, giant tracks lead upward. Fact 17. A silent cameo in Future Quest 2016.
Have it your way, but I warned you.
DC's Future Quest #1 almost brought Shazzan back in full color, but approvals clipped his voice. He appears as a quiet, powerful presence. No dialogue, just a nod to his legend inside a mashup built for Hanna-Barbera heroes. It's a wink more than a reunion, yet it proves the core idea still travels. One ring, one word, a world that tilts. I remember flipping those pages in a cramped shop, paper smelling like dust and glue, waiting for the big genie laugh that never came. Oddly, the silence worked. It felt like meeting an old friend across a noisy street. Hand raised, promise alive. Sometimes restraint keeps the magic bright instead of overexposed. Curiosity rises. Hear tom-toms. Old cues march in. Fact 18. Johnny Quest DNA in the soundscape.
The princess's spell is broken.
Listen close and you'll hear it. Recycled music textures and SFX flavors from Johnny Quest. Tight snares, brass stabs, footstep echoes that feel like damp stone. Reuse wasn't cheapness. It was a house style. It binds Shazzan's wild fantasy to earlier serious adventure, giving the world a steady heartbeat under the magic. As a kid, those horns made scenes feel bigger, like our small TV suddenly had cathedral ceilings. I'd hum the rhythm while building blanket forts. Every drum hit a door open. Sound turns drawings into places. When the brass swells, you don't question a flying camel for a second. You lean forward, beat fades, feel torch heat. A camel becomes a trophy. Fact 19, Kabubi. Target on the wall.
We let the evil demon out of the bottle.
Fear not, little master.
Villains sometimes want Kabubi not as a prisoner, but as decor. A living trophy, a wall decoration. It's dark humor, but it raises the stakes. Rescue the friend, restore the joke, protect the joy. The show lets danger wear a silly mask so kids can face it without freezing. I remember taping posters crooked on my bedroom wall and feeling weird about pinning a creature, even a cartoon one. Kabubi is comic relief, but not disposable. When the wings stop, the story dims. Saving him keeps the mood alive and the team intact. Friendship isn't just sweet, it's structural. Nerves settle. Smell marker ink. Clean lines redraw heroes. Fact 20, Alex Toth's clean graphic hand.
He must not fall into the Sultan's clutches.
Prince Omar!
Shazzan's look starts with Alex Toth. Bold silhouettes, readable poses, faces that communicate in one glance. He designed power that feels friendly. Giant palms, simple shapes, confident curves. That clarity lets action read fast, even on an old tube TV with rabbit ears. I'd copy frames with a felt tip, loving how one thick line could hold a whole shoulder. Toth understood Saturday morning attention spans. Less clutter, more punch. His designs aren't loud, they're inevitable. When Shazzan turns, the cape sweeps like a banner. When he smiles, the shot breathes. Good design becomes gravity. Silence breaks. Hear brass punch, theme locks the world. Fact 21, Hoyt Curtin's theme, simple and heroic.
Double!
Hoyt Curtin gives Shazzan a tune that does two jobs at once. It welcomes you in and stakes a flag. Percussion taps your shoulder, horns plant you in a myth that moves. Themes like this teach kids what the show feels like before the first line. I can still hear that bright opening while the cereal milk warmed. Music sets the floor. No matter how weird the plot gets, you're safe on the beat. Curtin's gift was writing earworms that carry pictures on their backs. Ears tune. Hear familiar voices. Names step from credits. Fact 22. Voices you've heard 100 times.
This awful place frightens me. It's creepy.
Barney Phillips gives Shazzan warmth and size. Jerry Dexter makes Chuck earnest without whining. Janet Waldo brings sparkle to Nancy. Don Messick turns Kabubi's sounds into personality. It's a small cast, but it stretches, letting side characters pop without stealing focus. As a kid, I didn't know their names, I knew the feeling. I'd mimic Shazzan's rolling vowels in the mirror and crack up my sister. Good voices do more than speak, they frame the world's mood. When Shazzan says, "My little masters," you believe it's affection, not flattery. Warm nostalgia, flip calendars, Saturday circle in red. Fact 23. One season, 2 years of Saturdays.
Me too, Shazzan. I hope you're not mad.
Original run, CBS, September 9th, 1967 to January 20th, 1968, with reruns through September 6th, 1969. Short on paper, long in memory. That's the Saturday trick. Fewer episodes, many replays, deeper grooves in your brain. I remember the chill of the floor tiles those early mornings, the hush before anyone else woke up. Even repeats felt new with different snacks and different moods. The dates make it small, the ritual made it big. Time tightens, count segments, short bursts drive the ride. Fact 24, 36, quick adventures built for momentum.
Why are we in chains?
Slaves are always chained.
Slaves?
Format matters. 18 half hours, each split into 11-minute segments. 36 total. That length is a secret engine. No filler, just clean setups, sharp obstacles, a rule to unlock, and a visual payoff. You can feel the writers trimming fat so the art can... As a kid, that timing matched my attention span perfectly. One bowl of cereal per adventure. Credits rolled as the spoon scraped the bottom. Short didn't mean slight, it meant focused. Every minute pulled its weight, and the rings clicked before your mind could wander. Ready for awe that snaps logic? Watch titles forged from folklore. Fact 25. Titles forged from folklore.
We'll go the other way.
Then I shall give you safe conduct on the gentle currents of El Hama.
Shazzan's episode names sound like treasure maps. Demon in the Bottle, City of Brass, Ring of Samara. Each title plants a promise. Old myths, sharp turns, clear stakes. You know what you're chasing before the first frame. As a kid, I'd read the TV guideline twice and picture the danger. The pop of a cork, the gleam of hammered metal, a ring humming on stone. Titles mattered because they set my heartbeat early. They also taught me that simple words can feel huge when they point at a mystery. Short, bold, unforgettable. Like labels on jars you're a little scared to open. Calm fades. Hear a page whisper. One box set wakes everything. Fact 26. The DVD that brought it back.
Now, return it to its rightful owner, Princess.
In 2012, Warner Archive dropped Shazzan, the complete series as a manufacture-on-demand DVD. For older fans, it was like a door opening you thought was painted shut. 2 discs, every segment, no hunting. I remember sliding the sleeve out and catching that plastic and ink smell, the kind that throws you back to rental. Press play, and your living room becomes warm sand and brass again. Sometimes complete means more than all the episodes. It means your childhood snaps into focus in the right order with the right rhythm. A short run finally felt whole, heart lifts, feel a click, tech specs sharpen the picture. Fact 27, tech specs that fit the memory. Roughly 389 minutes across 2 discs, 4.3 aspect, Dolby Digital 1.0. Those numbers sound dull until they hit your eyes and ears. The square frame matches how we first saw it. No stretched faces, no cropped capes. The mono track keeps the mix tight. Horns bright, footsteps crisp, Genie's booming without fuzz. I queued it up and felt the room narrow in a good way, like an old theater where sound lands right in your lap. Precision doesn't make it colder, it makes it true. You're not upgrading the past, you're aligning with it. Nostalgia hums. Hear pencils scratch. Writers shape chaos. Fact 28. Veteran story editors behind the curtain. The scripts carry fingerprints from seasoned hands, writers from the Len Jansen, Chuck Menville era, and other HB Filmation veterans who knew how to move a plot fast. 11 minutes is a knife fight with time. Establish rule, spring trap, twist, pay off. I picture a small room, coffee cooling, blue pencils chewing through paper. As a kid, I didn't know names. I knew momentum. These writers cut away everything that didn't fly or sparkle. That's why the ring clicks just as your attention might slip. Craft hides in speed, energy spikes, smell paper dust, artboards turn to treasure. Fact 29, Alex Toth's model sheet. Survive.
Real-tempered pet needs a muzzle, evil Khan.
Enough.
Toth's model sheets, those clean graphic blueprints, still circulate in auctions and retrospectives. Thick contour lines, confident shapes, notes about hands, capes, and angles that read like a calm teacher speaking. I once tried to trace a Toth shoulder curve and felt my marker hesitate. His lines look simple until you chase their balance. Seeing the sheets is like peeking at a magician's deck. There's no trick, just discipline. That's why the characters read at a glance, even on fuzzy feeds. The design carries the story before the script does. Awe steadies, hear a distant gong, themes cluster like storms. Fact 30, monsters group by theme, not tech.
Look, a brass fish.
Shazzan pits the kids against giants, cyclops, underground worlds, myth creatures, not gizmos. The roster pairs threats by feeling, size, glare, confinement, hunger. That choice keeps the show timeless. A giant's footstep doesn't age. A blinking console does. I felt it in my chest. Those heavy, slow sounds and the way shadows stretch before a body arrives. You don't need to explain a cyclops. You just need to run. Outthink and call the word at the right instant. Myth is user-friendly terror. Curiosity sparks. Feel heat shimmer. Shared worlds tighten their grip. Fact 31. The proto-shared universe pattern.
2 travelers approach. City of the Tombs in 2,000 years.
Long before cinematic universes, HB was testing crossover. Space Ghost arcs with guest heroes and Shazzan popping into the mix. It wasn't about fan service, it was about energy. When worlds touch, rules collide, and stories get fresh oxygen. As a kid, I dumped action figures from different sets into one box and felt the same thrill. Strange team-ups make new problems. You can taste the ozone when a ray beam meets desert magic. The thrill is simple. If they know each other, anything can happen. Grin widens. Hear a gavel tap. Old heroes face new courtroom. Fact 32. Adult parodies keep the flame.
Kaboobie! Sure hated to bother you.
Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, and other adult animation nods keep Shazzan's silhouette alive in the cultural attic. Parody isn't mockery here, it's maintenance. It teaches new viewers the shapes and catchphrases while letting older fans laugh at the scaffolding. I remember seeing a quick Shazzan reference and feeling that private spark, like an inside joke you didn't expect in public. If a character survives being teased, the core is strong. Jokes are wind. Real icons don't blow over. Tension builds, smell studio dust. Producer credits crown the era. Fact 33, the Hanna-Barbera stamp on every frame.
Summon your genie. And separated you will forever be.
Look at the credits and you'll see it. William Hanna and Joseph Barbera billed as directors, producers, the classic studio stamp of the late 60s. That wasn't just branding, it set a pace and a polish. Hanna's timing plus Barbera's showmanship meant clean setups, big reveals, and jokes that landed without wobble. You can feel the studio rhythm, trouble, twist, payoff. As a kid, those names felt like a guarantee. When the card appeared, I'd settle in, spoon-tapping the cereal bowl, certain the ride would be tight and bright. The company voice was a metronome. Even Wild Magic stayed on beat because the bosses cared about beats. Leadership turns chaos into cadence. Ready for a smile that steadies storms? Hear brass breathe. Fact 34. The premise repeated like a spell.
Repeat after me, little masters.
Guides and credits keep restating the origin. Main cave, split ring, the word, the leap into Arabian Nights. It's not filler, it's ritual. The repetition trains new viewers and refreshes old ones, so the portal logic never blurs. You always know the rule set before the chase begins. I loved that steadiness. It was like the nightly click of our front door chain. The house is locked, the story's unlocked. A firm premise lets the art go wild without losing you. When the cave shot hit, I could almost smell wet stone and feel cold air slide past my ankle. Familiar words, fresh trouble, calm fades. Hear a page whisper, one episode ties legend. Fact 35, the Aladdin link. Made Official One late story segment ties Shazzan's realm straight to Aladdin. Not just a wink, a thread. Folklore isn't scattered here. It's stitched. That matters because it turns wish magic into a shared economy. Lamps have history. Thieves know the exchange rate. I love the way that detail tightened the world. It made the sand feel walked on by other stories, not just staged. I'd sit closer to the screen, listening for names I knew from library books. The show wasn't borrowing, it was joining a caravan already moving. Connections make fantasy feel older than you. That was wonder. Now what if crowns refuse giants? Fact 36, part of Alex Toth's adventure family.
Disappeared.
Chuck, look!
It's a king-size version of the bottle that held the evil demon.
Critics group Shazzan with Alex Toth's CBS adventure run, Neighbors to Space Ghost and Mighty Miter. You can see the family traits, bold silhouettes, readable action, heroic staging that pops even on small screens. Toth drew clarity like it was oxygen and Shazzan breathes it. As a kid, I didn't say design language, I said this looks right. Capes cut the frame clean, hands read at a glance. I copied those shapes with a stubby pencil and felt smarter when the outline held. Families of shows aren't just marketing, they're muscle memory across series. Curiosity hums, feel heat shimmer. Scarcity sharpens memory. Fact 37. Short run, rare sightings, strong echo.
The idol is moving.
Good boy, Kabuki.
After its single extra season of reruns, Shazzan didn't soak the 70s syndication pool like some peers. That scarcity turned episodes into events. You couldn't count on catching one. You had to be lucky or up early. I remember scanning listings like treasure maps, circling times with a blunt pencil. Missing an airing felt like a pulled thread you couldn't grab again. Oddly, the gaps made the colors brighter in my rarity at its memory. It keeps only the loudest beats, the laugh, the ring click, the sky tilting. Less airtime, deeper groove. Quiet tightens. Hear coin clink. Guides sort every quest. Fact 38. Guides and databases keep the trail clear.
Oh, I am caught. Woe is me.
Fan sites and databases, think episode lists, synopses, credits, let you track every 11-minute segment, villains, locales, artifacts, and the order they aired. That map matters for editors and fans who want clean pulls and accurate titles. I spent nights with tabs open, cross-checking summaries while the kettle hissed. The joy wasn't just rewatching, it was organizing the world like a tidy shelf of jars. Good lists turn fog into streets. When you know which alley holds the city of brass, you can sprint there in one click. Research becomes adventure again. Hope rises, hear rope whisper, old tricks climb new walls. Fact 39, early crossover DNA, lessons that stuck.
Good. The stopper is still in the bottle.
Chuck, how will you get it?
Even beyond the Space Ghost team up, the studio's crossover habit taught a bigger lesson. When worlds touch, rules collide, and stories get oxygen. Put ray beams next to ring magic and you test both. I mashed action figures the same way. Spaceship pilot riding a flying camel, no one blinking. The screen gave me permission. You could hear the air change when two systems met, like a door opening in a warm theater. Crossovers weren't marketing buzzwords, they were playground physics. Try, collide, see what breaks, laugh, try again. Grin sharpens, smell ink cure. Producer names crown the curtain. Fact 40, credits as a promise, not just paper.
Springtime. Shazzan.
Fear not, young masters.
Hanna-Barbera Presents wasn't a vanity line, it was a handshake. Directors, producers, and department heads framed a pact. Big ideas, clean lines, safe thrills. Seeing those credits roll felt like lights dimming before a feature. I'd lean back, cereal gone, and trust the pacing to carry me. The names taught me to watch for craft, music, voices, layouts, long before I learned those words. And they taught me this: if a show knows what it is, it can be wild without getting lost. The credits weren't the end, they were the drumbeat under the magic. Ready for a final warmth that lingers? Hear gentle laughter fade. Bonus fact. Here's a quiet treasure. One Shazzan segment didn't stay on TV. Episode 11A, where a hidden city is made of porcelain and the river runs like clay, was adapted by Gold Key Comics in an issue of Hanna-Barbera's Super TV Heroes. That means the story lived twice, once in glowing color on Saturday morning and once in pulpy panels you could hold, crease, and trade. I remember digging through a musty stall at a flea market, the air smelling like dust and orange soda, and spotting that gold spine. A TV memory turned into paper felt like catching a firefly in a jar. Same light, new shape. It proved this world could travel beyond the screen and still shine.